dolphin trainer and artist.
Okay.
Maybe astronaut. At a very young age, before I could drive, definitely. I had the advantage of, my mom started a community arts center when I was young, and so I took a lot of classes through that program, and so I knew how to throw on a wheel before I could drive, and it became very clear to me very early on that I should pursue art. No, I mean, there was family members who maybe thought, like, okay, well, I scratched that. No, I had full support, which is very rare, I think. My parents always helped me follow whatever path I was interested in, and it became very clear early on that I wanted to follow art. So they kept me in art classes when I was young, and yeah, they really supported my dream. I have an exhibition in Canada. It's my first international show. I'm very excited, and FYI, Canada pays you a lot of money to make art. So maybe our country could learn a few lessons from Canada. But I'm working on this installation with all of these light bulbs. So I'm going to make a field of light bulbs on the ground, and then they're going to be smashed kind of successively. So at one end of the field there will be these whole light bulbs, and then at the other end they'll be completely smashed down to smithereens, so you can't even see the shape anymore. So to make these all by hand would take me longer than I have time to do. So I'm using something called a plaster mold to make them. A plaster mold allows you to reproduce any object in clay repeatedly. Any mold can get you maybe like up to 200 of the item that you're casting. So to make the mold, you just take the object, you put it in clay, and then you pour plaster around it, so you make like a negative of the shape. And then to pour your mold, you just put it together. So this is a porcelain slip that I formulated myself. It's designed for slip casting, so you might use porcelain slip to decorate the surfaces of your pieces, but this one is a little different. It's been deflocculated, which means all of the water, as much of the water has been taken out as possible, so that you have a really high density of clay in your slip. So more clay to water ratio, which allows for this object to be made very, very quickly. So if you were just pouring in regular slip, there would be so much water, the water would absorb into the plaster at a very slow rate, and you'd be waiting for days to flip these molds. But with a casting slip, you can flip them in like 12 hours or 24 hours. So it's a very quick process. I'll just fill these molds up. I'm a really messy slip caster. I think if you were to watch a pro, they would just laugh at me. So now I have to wait. If you were to look really closely, you can see that the level of slip is going down because the water is getting absorbed into the plaster surface at a very fast rate, and so the amount of clay is going down because it's getting absorbed. So I'll keep topping them off, and I'll do this for about 3 minutes or so, and then I'll dump them in a minute. And then I have to wait for about 12 hours. So once you wait a bit of time for the plaster to absorb into the clay surface, or into the plaster surface, and then once it does, you dump your molds out. And now you have this hollow form inside. So then this gets popped out, and the top of the mold gets cut off,